It's not Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning ever. But okay, whatever. Everybody wants to. He wanted to bring up Tim Tebow's wins, and I'm telling him, man, this dude is so fundamentally flawed. It's not even funny. And for all the why not move a tight end? There are kids who get drafted at tight end that can't play tight end. Like, what the hell has Tim Tebow ever done? Have you seen him do with your own eyes that allow you to believe that he could play tight end at a professional level amongst the best in the world? My answer would be nothing. The dude thinks he's a quarterback. And other thing about that is he thinks he's too good to play in the CFL. So if that's your thing, if that's where you at with your, if that's where you at with your confidence level, my man, I'm sure the SEC network is breaking you off for just being Tim Tebow. They're paying you handsomely for being Tim Tebow. Wait, I think that's wrong. The story I'm looking at says Jake Long. That kid's name is Kyle Long. The kid from St. Louis's name, it just hit me. This says the Rams cut Jake Long. Jake Long is the kid from Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. It's terrible that that's the home team here, and I'm like stumped for this kid's name. I know people are like, yep, I'm done listening to these dudes. This dude doesn't even know who Jake Long is. Well, maybe if he blocks somebody every now and then, it would give me more motivation to know who he is. And that's not a shot at, well, it is. It's a shot at him because I'm inept tonight. Whatever. That's why, see, if Rob were here, he's Falcons man. He's Falcons UGA man and Braves man. Those three teams do nothing wrong. He still has some hatred in his heart for the Hawks because he feels as though Dominique Wilkins was done wrong because he played all those years here for free. You remember? And so now, it is Jake Long. He's the kid from. So what's the kid's name from here? Oh, Jake Long. You know who I'm thinking about this whole time? Jake Long, the kid that was drafted before Matt Ryan, is the kid that got released. Who the hell am I thinking of? Jesus Christ! All right, it's Monday. It's Monday. Golly, yeah. Don't give up on me. I'm golly. What in the heck is going on? Anyway, what was I saying here? I was talking about NFL free agency and where it's going. And by tomorrow, Jake Long, the kid that had some injury issues when he was down in Miami. Now everything's rushing back into my head now, whereas before my head was empty. Excuse me. Speaking of older players that are on the move, Andre Johnson, he'll spend his first year without a Texans logo on the side of his helmet this coming season. He's a guy receiver is different than running back for me. I think an older receiver that still has some game can still add some value to a football team. And the first team that comes to mind for me is the Carolina Panthers, a team that decided they were going to play without receivers last year. Well, I mean, Kelvin Benjamin, but he was a rookie. But a team that felt like we'll just go forward. We'll march forward in this bad, terrible NFC South without any wide receivers. And by the way, we'll win it. Yeah, that if there isn't any more of a disgrace to this league than that, I don't know what is. Other than the Rockets, other than the talent, or what am I saying? Other than the actual records of the teams and the way that they played, outside of the Panthers coming down the stretch, they got it together a little bit on defense coming down the stretch. But before that, it left a lot to be desired. Like, I was a guy who kind of just went about my way, when the Falcons were playing, because it began to become comical and very, very weird, the things that were going on the football field with them. I mean, as opposed to the team that we saw a couple years ago that was, vying for championships. This team just looked bad, and it looked different than what it should have looked like. And for that, people lost jobs. The head coach, he had to go. It was one of those situations where after you start changing everything, you start changing coordinators and changing systems and things of that nature, there's nothing more to say. You gotta go in a different direction. But the funny part about the Atlanta Falcons is it almost seems as though they're starting over. They're not doing what the proverbial or the perennial, good teams do, where they just kind of, refocus. They seem like they're just, especially defensively, they're just like, all right, whatever. Let's just scrap it and then try to just. They're probably going to do a lot with these secondary free agents. Which, come on, man, you got the money, spend it. Like, get you somebody in here that's big time, and stop with this whole. Like, you guys remember Ray Edwards? He was like the guy who played opposite Jared Allen in Minnesota all those years. Yeah, he's out of the league now. He ended up getting released like mid-season by the Atlanta Falcons. It was one of the craziest signings. They didn't break the bank on. That was the same year Mario Williams signed for $100 million. So comparatively, not even comparatively. I mean, they got a bargain player, and he played on a bargain level for him. There's really not much more to say about that. He didn't really give him anything of note while he was here, which when he started like trying to get an attitude about playing time and things of that nature, they were like, all right, my man, yeah, we ain't losing too much by cutting you, so we'll holler at you. And now he's making like terrible boxing videos. The last thing I saw of him, I guess they paid like some janitor or something, looked like, to take a dive, and he won this crazy little backroom supposed boxing match by knockout over this guy who in no light looked to be any sort of athlete, period. So that's what he's doing now. You got to find a girlfriend if you want to Google if she's still with him. Ray Edwards' girlfriend, chick, she's a stripper, but I don't pass no judgment when it comes to that. So feel free, while you got this in your earbuds or wherever you're listening to it, open up a new page and Google that. Have fun with it. This is the Sports Kings podcast, as heard on Spreaker.com. I am Big Mike. Rob Calloway is usually here with me, but he's out for the night. You guys want to comment on anything you hear in this or any other podcast that we've done so far? This is number 6. You can holler at us at Sports Kings Live on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, or send us an email at sportskingsatl@gmail.com. I know you guys hear me keep pausing here because it seems to be like everything that I have, like technology-wise, in front of me wants to freeze up and not give me any of the information that I'm looking for. One of the other things I wanted to talk about today as far as the NFL goes before I move on from the land of the National Football League. The NFLPA executive director position is going to be up for a vote. As you all may well very know, DeMaurice Smith is the director right now, and he's now at the end of a second 3-year term. I think the last time he ran unopposed, but this time it's like 8 dudes trying to get him out of there. They feel like he's doing a horrible job. One with like the retired guys. They feel like this CBA, this current CBA, is loaded in favor of the owners too much. Like that ain't what happens. Of course it is. In all of these labor negotiations, the rich guys always win. Or, excuse me, the wealthy guys always win. Like these dudes that are playing ball, they're rich. But, like Chris Rock said, the dudes that cut their paychecks are the wealthy ones. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, miss me with that whole, you think it should be even? No, because guess what's going to happen? Like let's say, when Roddy White's career is over in Atlanta, you know what Arthur Blank will be doing? Yep, still owning the Falcons. Yep. When Matt Ryan's career is over with, God forbid anything, tragic happening, or, just Father Time catching up with Arthur Blank, yeah, he'll still be owning the Falcons. So these players are going to come and go. I mean, how many players Jerry Jones has seen come and go And you know what he's doing since '89? Yep, you're right. Yeah, he's owning the Cowboys. So it's going to always favor them. That's why they were so quick to be like, all right, cool. Let's get the season underway. Sign this 10-year deal. Because everyone who was involved in that deal, in making that deal, the Jeff Saturdays, you remember Drew Brees and the boys, the high price quarterbacks were going to sue the NFL or something of that nature. No, these guys will be gone. These guys will be long, long gone. And maybe even the guys who got drafted that year, the Andrew Lucks and the Cam Newtons of the world, yeah, maybe they'll be gone too. Maybe their careers will be over too. I mean, this is the NFL, by the way. You know, this is a very violent sport we're talking about in football. So no one will be around in 2021 who has any experience with the negotiation tactics that need to be employed to go through a CBA or to get a new CBA. And the owners, anything that they perceive themselves to have given up in that last one, yeah, you better believe they're coming back. They're coming back for what they believe they left on the table for these players. And in that, along that same vein, Sean Gilbert. I don't know how many of you may remember Sean Gilbert. He played defensive tackle for the Carolina Panthers. And he is one of the guys who wants to challenge DeMaurice Smith for the NFLPA executive director job. Now, his contention is like mine. He feels as though what he plans on doing, and says that he'll at a later date he'll disclose the details to his plans, but he plans on bringing a collusion lawsuit against the NFL based on the things that are in this current CBA, and try to get it nullified to where they have to go back to the table and create a new one. Now that sounds to me like very, very, very large hill to climb, you know. But no, you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like the dude who wants to be class president. Like, yep, pizza party every Friday and no homework. Yeah, all right, sounds good. You know, get everybody excited, and then when all the chips fall and everybody votes for little Billy, you realize Billy has none of that power. And that was a way too daunting a task for him to promise anyone. But at the time, it sounded good. And to me, it's spilled milk at this point. You know, that deal, it's done. You know, the last one had a little bit of a poison pill in it, so to speak. Whereas if they felt like things were going in the direction that they're going in now, as far as the growth of the league, they could opt out of it and be like, yep, tear this one up. We need a new one. And that's what they did in 2011. Well, now what you have is a situation where you're locked up. Like everybody, like the NFL is the players in the NFL. As well as they should be, they're very, very, you know, there's this word that comes to mind with them because they have to think this way because of the sport they play. It's the security. It's the reason that guys don't want to be franchise tagged. It's not because they don't want that lump sum of money. It's definitely not because of that. But there's no security in it. You know, one helmet to the knee the wrong way, and all you getting is that 1 year. You know, maybe you can come back in the next year, but you're going to come back at far below what your market value was. So it's a problem. You see guys like Dez Bryant, guys like Justin Houston out there in Kansas City, you know, gonna have that issue, you know, as far as them being hit with the franchise tag. And like I was talking about it a couple of shows ago, whereas there also needs to be an understanding from the franchised players who receive the tag, that sometimes the team just needs time. You know, they need time to negotiate the deal, especially in a case like Dez Bryant, where he changed agents. He's now with Jay-Z's guys, Rock Nation. So he went through that and now they have to restart negotiations that they started a year ago.